Neelab Srivastav, journalist.
The poll bugle for the assembly elections in the 5 states of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Telangana, and Mizoram has already been blown, and now the political activity in all these 5 states has begun. Now we all know election schedule in these 5 states. All these states will have the voting between November 7th to 30th, and then the counting of votes will be taking place on December the 3rd. Only Chhattisgarh will have a two-phased elections. On November 7th, the first phase, 20 seats largely in the LWE affected areas, the left-wing extremism areas, they will go to polls. And on November 17th, we'll have 70 seats going to polls. The three heartland states of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, we have a two-party system largely. Telangana also, not too many parties in the fray. And Mizoram. So we probably will go one by one to our experts, each of these states. Tandon, first question to you. The Hindi heartland of Madhya Pradesh, we have essentially seen two-party contest here, the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress. Now we know that the BJP is in power in this state for quite a number of years, barring a few months, say about 1.5 years of the Congress rule last time. How do you see the political rumblings here and the kind of the political scenario that is going to emerge before the state goes to polls on November the 17th?
If we are talking about the Hindi heartland, now let me briefly discuss Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. See, why I'm saying so is because there are two very prominent things which we need to highlight. One is that contrary to the media speculation which we saw during the 2018 poll also, that these 5 states election is in a way semi-final in the run-up to the Lok Sabha poll, which did not happen. If we know that in these states, the Congress got majority, near the majority in Madhya Pradesh, but what happened in the 2019 Lok Sabha poll? So, therefore, it may not be correct to say that these 5 states election, particularly in the Hindi heartland, are a semi-final in the run-up to the Lok Sabha poll in 2024. That is one thing which I wanted to highlight before we start Madhya Pradesh. The other very significant point I want to highlight is that since the opposition parties have formed an India alliance, and therefore it was expected that they would be fighting these elections, in a very united manner, not allowing split of votes among the non-BJP party. But apparently that doesn't seem to be happening. See the statement given by Akhilesh Yadav of the Samajwadi Party. He said because the India alliance, particularly the Congress party, is not adhering to any code. So therefore, we will also be free as far as the state of Madhya Pradesh particularly is concerned. Because if they are not giving any room to Samajwadi Party, particularly in Madhya Pradesh, so we will do the same thing. So that means in the very beginning, the India alliance is not a very homogeneous alliance or unified picture. So these two factors, I think, apply to Chhattisgarh as well and to great extent in Rajasthan also. I will not go to Telangana as far as this particular India alliance is concerned because the KCR is not a part of the India alliance. So let's now come back to Madhya Pradesh as we were saying, and since we have an expert from Bhopal as well, see the thing is what happened in the last election, and the BJP had to learn lessons from that. Although subsequently they somehow managed to form the government, which is still an incumbent government of Shivraj Singh Chauhan. But the fact remains, Madhya Pradesh, since the last assembly election, is a very, very close fight. And it continues to be very close, even in this election. The opinion polls are also divided on this issue, but they are also showing neck and neck election in Madhya Pradesh. But the infighting which is surfacing in particularly Congress party, that is another feature, I think, which has been very significant in Madhya Pradesh earlier also. So therefore, as far as the seats are concerned, we all know the number of seats which party got last election. But the campaign which is now going on, which has been going on, is that whatever we may say, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is still the star campaigner as far as election in these states are concerned. And he has already done quite a lot of campaigning in Madhya Pradesh, and he will continue to do so. But the only fear of the BJP is the anti-incumbency of the government as well as of the individual MLAs. That sometimes we feel that last year also it went against the BJP. So therefore, how to beat the anti-incumbency? Because the Chief Minister and his state level party leader, they can't rely heavily and only on Prime Minister Modi's image. Because if we see what happened in the last election.
Right.
The party lost, but Modi, his own election in 2019, retained and in fact managed to win Lok Sabha seats. So therefore, depending only on the state leadership and the cadre is not enough. Agreed. Modi's image is there. He will campaign. But it's not the only thing they will have to do. And they will have to put their own house in order also. Because Madhya Pradesh BJP is also not a very unified party.
Right.
So campaign is, in fact, on the achievements of the Shivraj Singh Chauhan government. On the other hand, the Congress is trying to exploit the anti-incumbency of the Shivraj Singh government. So let's hear what our expert from Bhopal has to say.
Right, we have Sanjeev ji from Bhopal, our AIR correspondent. संजीव जी, अभी कल और परसों के कुछ डेवलपमेंट्स हैं. अब प्रधानमंत्री ने एक चिट्ठी भी लिखी है मध्य प्रदेश के वोटरों को. उन्होंने कहा है कि आपका डायरेक्ट आशीर्वाद मुझे मिले, सीधा आशीर्वाद. और साथ में कल कांग्रेस की दूसरी लिस्ट भी आ गई है मध्य प्रदेश के अपने कैंडिडेट्स के लिए. किस तरह का समीकरण देख रहे हैं, किस तरह की चीजें वहां देख रहे हैं? क्या ये कांटे की टक्कर है जैसा टंडन साहब कह रहे थे?
बिल्कुल एग्री विद टंडन जी. नीलम जी, you also knowing that Shivraj Singh Chauhan is the longest serving BJP CM by breaking Raman Singh and even Prime Minister Modi's CM tenure. Or in MP, BJP has been power for the longest tenure after Gujarat. Anti-incumbency factor is there, but after introducing some central ministers and MPs as a candidate in almost half dozen of seats in MP, the BJP fully trying to change the scenario. And till now, earlier as we talk about the 6 month back या उसके पहले की बात करें तो BJP is far behind लग रही थी in this election. But now after the introducing of some heavyweight candidate, Ladli Behna Yojana, and so now the scene is changed and both BJP and Congress are fighting neck to neck. But I add some more thing that not only as far as the India alliance is concerned, not only SP, BSP and Aam Aadmi Party are also feeling annoyed the Congress declaring almost 229 candidate of 230 assembly segment.
Yeah.
BSP announced almost 75 candidate and SP announced 30 to 35 and even AAP also announced 41 candidates. So it means it's a fight between Congress and BJP, but the India alliance is also in the fray and there are some dominance in some particular areas या some particular assemblies.
बिल्कुल, इंडिया अलायंस जैसा कि आप कह रहे हैं और साथ में टंडन साहब भी कह रहे थे कि अलग अलग धड़ों में दिख रहा है इस समय, खास करके मध्य प्रदेश में कुछ जो बयान भी आए हैं. मगर अब 1 महीने से भी कम रह गया है वक्त वहां पर वोट डलने में. 17 नवंबर को वोटिंग होनी है. चुनावी रणन खटोले, स्टार कैंपेनर्स, ये सब आप कब से देख रहे हैं, कब से चालू हो जाएंगे क्या, और किस तरह से कैंपेन गति पकड़ रहा है वहाँ?
नीलम, अभी तक बीजेपी ने ऑलमोस्ट करीब 90 उम्मीदवार और घोषित करने. बीजेपी की जो लिस्ट आई है उसमें अभी तक 136 उन्होंने अपने उम्मीदवार उतारे हैं और 230 सीट है तो करीब करीब 90-95 उम्मीदवार और अभी चाहिए बीजेपी की तरफ से. कांग्रेस ने जरूर 229 उम्मीदवार उतार दिए. एक सीट उन्होंने छोड़ रखी है आमला की, जहां से कि वो शायद इंतजार कर रहे हैं. एक IAS है निशा बांगरे,
वो राज्य प्रशासनिक सेवा की अफसर है.
हाँ, अफसर है और वो चाह रही है कि वहां से टिकट उनको मिले और कांग्रेस भी शायद उनके इस्तीफा मंजूर होने का वेट कर रही है. तो जब तक अभी बीजेपी एक तो रिमेनिंग सीट आ जाए और उसके बाद जैसे हमारे यहाँ 21 अक्टूबर से शुरू होगी नॉमिनेशन की प्रोसेस, उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि 21 के बाद से कैंपेनिंग जोर पकड़ेगी. बड़े नेताओं के दौरे भी शुरू होंगे और वैसे तो प्रधानमंत्री कल भी ग्वालियर आ रहे हैं लेकिन वो सिंधिया स्कूल का 125वां स्थापना दिवस है, शायद उसमें पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे. इलेक्शन एक्टिविटीज नहीं है लेकिन फिर भी प्रधानमंत्री का आना ही अपने आप में एक बड़ा प्रभाव रखता है और उसके प्रभाव पड़ते भी. और खासकर जो चंबल, ग्वालियर, भिंड, दतिया और इस तरफ का जो बेल्ट है वहां बीजेपी को ऐसा महसूस किया जा रहा है कि थोड़ी सी दिक्कत भी है. तो वहां प्रधानमंत्री का आना, किसी भी कार्यक्रम में आना मायने रखता है. तो एक तरह से कह सकते हैं कि शुरुआत हो गई है. हालांकि बीजेपी ने राज्य के स्तर पर आप कहें तो उन्होंने प्रचार शुरू कर दिया है. कल ही यहाँ से प्रचार रथ रवाना किए गए जो सारी 230 विधानसभा क्षेत्रों में जाएंगे और वहां प्रधानमंत्री की जो चिट्ठी है जिसका आपने अभी जिक्र भी किया था, उस चिट्ठी को लेकर जाएंगे और जनता को बताएंगे कि मध्य प्रदेश में डबल इंजन की सरकार ने किस तरह से काम किए हैं. कांग्रेस का प्रचार जरूर काफी पहले से चल रहा है. राहुल गांधी भी कई सभाएं कर चुके हैं, प्रियंका भी आ चुकी है और कांग्रेस बेसिकली अपनी जो गारंटीज वाला उनका फार्मूला है उस पर फोकस कर रही है. मध्य प्रदेश में भी उन्होंने करीब 100-105 गारंटी अलग अलग सेक्टर के लिए रखी है.
जी हाँ.
तो उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि अगले हफ्ते से मतलब दोनों ही पार्टियां और बाकी जो और छोटी पार्टियां भी वो पूरी तरह से चुनाव प्रचार शुरू कर देंगी.
Moving towards the neighboring state of Chhattisgarh, which is erstwhile part of Madhya Pradesh. Mr. Tandon, Chhattisgarh is the only state where it goes to polls in two phases. One, the primary reason being the LWE, the Naxal violence problem in southern part of the state. But apart from that, apart from this security issue, we have the Bhupesh Baghel government there in power, and we've seen a number of central agencies' actions that has been very underlining kind of an action that has been happening in the state, and also the former Chief Minister of Bharatiya Janata Party of the state from BJP, Mr. Raman Singh, now exulting and going into the campaign. However, if I am correct, there is no CM phase declared by both the parties as of now. How do you see the kind of machinations in this state?
No, as far as ruling Congress is concerned, they don't have to announce any CM phase because the incumbent Chief Minister obviously is taken as their CM phase. But the BJP has not been able to officially announce a CM candidate. But because they have brought back Raman Singh and they are fielding him also, so that is an indication that their tallest leader in Chhattisgarh continues to be Raman Singh, and who has a good track record as well. So therefore, I think both the parties are facing this challenge of the leadership. But now, because see, if you look at the last year result, Congress has won 67 seats and the BJP could manage only 18. And the BJP was in power for about 15 years in Chhattisgarh. So, but at that time, it appeared that it is all anti-incumbency of Raman Singh government. But after 5 years being in opposition, the BJP has again brought back Raman Singh. That indicates that he continues to be their tallest leader. Now, with the two Parivartan Yatras in Chhattisgarh, the BJP is using the twin strategy of Ghar Wapsi of its disgruntled workers who had left the party, while also recruiting new workers. And very interesting aspect, the campaign by the ruling Congress is that Chief Minister Baghel is emphasizing on Hindutva agenda, which basically continued to be the BJP's agenda. Now, he has started with renovation of the ancient Mata Kaushalya temple, the only temple which is dedicated to the mother of Lord Rama, and he has been making it a point to call Lord Rama as the nephew of Chhattisgarh. Bhanja hai. That is and he is also, preparing for a route, Ram Gaman Yatra route. So that means he understands the importance of Ram Van Gaman Path, and he has allocated 162 crore for the tourism circuit century from the Ramayana. So that means the Congress, particularly the ruling party, feels that if he has to beat anti-incumbency, he has also to go towards, if not soft, I think it's almost like a hard Hindutva line. So how much will it affect? That is yet to be seen. But the fact remains, most of the opinion polls feel that Congress is still in a better position, but BJP has to fight it, and therefore holding election in 2 rounds, particularly one separately for the left-wing affected area, it will be a challenge for the security forces also. The fight is strictly almost between 2 parties. There is no India alliance as such, and there is hardly any presence of other parties except for BSP in certain pockets. So therefore, it's a direct fight. And the vote percentage, if we see from the last election, unless there is a swing against the Chhattisgarh government, BJP may find it difficult, but the challenge is there.
राइट संजीव जी, एक बार फिर से आपके पास आऊंगा. ये सीएम के चेहरे की जब जिक्र की बात होता है तो मध्य प्रदेश भी इस बारे में बड़े चर्चा में है. शिवराज सिंह चौहान, जिनको लोग प्यार से मामा भी कहते हैं, तो इस बार कयास लगाए जा रहे हैं कि क्या वो अगले सीएम चेहरा होंगे. और इसके कंपैरिजन में कांग्रेस ने बहुत ही क्लियर कहा है कि कमलनाथ ही उनके मुख्यमंत्री के दावेदार हैं, वही मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे. तो क्या ये कैसे पैन आउट हो रहा है मध्य प्रदेश में?
इसका एक बहुत अच्छा कि नॉर्मली मीडिया में भी ये सवाल लगातार जब भी कोई भाजपा के बड़े नेता आते हैं तो ये पूछा जाता है. तो इसका बहुत अच्छा जवाब केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह ने दिया था. जब उनसे पूछा गया कि शिवराज को आपने चेहरा नहीं बनाया, तो उन्होंने कहा कि शिवराज सिंह अभी मुख्यमंत्री हैं और ये पार्टी का हमारा इंटरनल मैटर है. कौन सीएम होगा ये हम चुनाव के बाद करेंगे. सामूहिक तौर पर पार्टी चुनाव लड़ रही है, तो एक तरह से क्या उन्होंने इस प्रश्न को टाल दिया था. लेकिन कल जो प्रधानमंत्री की चिट्ठी आई, अभी तक सामान्य तौर पर ये महसूस किया जा रहा था कि कहीं न कहीं शिवराज सिंह चौहान को पार्टी थोड़ा साइडलाइन करी. शायद इसकी एक वजह ये भी हो सकती है कि वो पिछले 18 साल से मुख्यमंत्री हैं, और कहीं जो एक जिसको हम कह सकते हैं कि एंटी इनकम्बेंसी का, या हिंदी में कहें तो ऊबना पार्टी की रणनीति होगी, उनको थोड़ा सा साइड में करके चलेंगे तो कहीं दूसरे नेताओं के चेहरे सामने आने से एक वोटर्स को फ्रेशनेस फील होगी और उतना एंटी इनकम्बेंसी वाला कोई नुकसान नहीं होगा। शायद एक वजह ये हो सकती है। लेकिन कल जैसे प्रधानमंत्री ने चिट्ठी लिखी है मतदाताओं के नाम पे, उसमें उन्होंने न केवल शिवराज सिंह चौहान का उल्लेख किया बल्कि उनकी कई अच्छी योजनाओं का जिक्र भी किया है और ये बताया है कि वो बहुत मेहनत कर रहे हैं। तो एक तरह से फिर इससे शिवराज सिंह चौहान को लेकर पॉजिटिव वाइब्स आई हैं। उसके बाद से चीजें बदलनी शुरू हुई हैं, बाकी पार्टी के लीडर्स के बयान भी चेंज हुए हैं और ये कह सकते हैं कि वोटर्स में भी एक मैसेज तो गया है कि ऐसा नहीं है इग्नोर पार्टी कर रही है, लेकिन शायद पार्टी की रणनीति हो सकती है। कुछ चीजें जैसे टंडन साहब की बात में जोड़ना चाहेंगे, जो छत्तीसगढ़ को लेकर जो टंडन साहब बात कर रहे थे, ऑलमोस्ट वही स्थिति मध्य प्रदेश में भी है। यहाँ भी साफ हिंदुत्व को लेकर कांग्रेस फोकस कर रही है। उन्होंने कमलनाथ ने अपने खुद के निर्वाचन क्षेत्र में संतों की सभाएं कराई हैं, वो अपने निवास में सुंदरकांड करा रहे हैं। मतलब एक तरह से जो कह सकते हैं कि बीजेपी का एजेंडा रहा है उसको उन्होंने छीनने की कोशिश की। मतलब हम ये कह सकते हैं कि मध्य प्रदेश में मुद्दा चुराव जैसा कुछ वो भी चल रहा है दोनों पार्टी के बीच में, कि जैसे कांग्रेस ने कहा कि हम 500 रुपए में गैस सिलेंडर घरेलू सेंके, तो बीजेपी ने 450 में सिलेंडर देना शुरू कर दिया। बीजेपी ने लाडली बहना योजना शुरू की और 1250 रुपए महिलाओं को दे रहे हैं। कांग्रेस ने कहा कि हम 1500 रुपए देंगे। बिजली फ्री को लेकर भी दोनों पार्टियों में ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर सी बात है। तो ये कह सकते हैं कि दोनों एक दूसरे के मुद्दे को काट रहे हैं और एक दूसरे के मुद्दे को अडॉप्ट भी कर रहे हैं। तो इस वजह से अभी मतलब जो कह सकते हैं कि बिल्कुल पोल प्रोडक्शन जो भी चल रहे हो, लेकिन ये भी सच है कि पूरी तरह से आप मध्य प्रदेश में ये नहीं कह सकते कि 2018 में जो 114 और 109 सीट का फर्क था कांग्रेस और बीजेपी के बीच में, वैसे सीन रहेगा या उससे और बेहतर दोनों पार्टियां परफॉर्म कर पाएंगी।
जी हाँ, मूविंग टू द स्टेट राइट नेक्स्ट टू दीज टू, मध्य प्रदेश एंड छत्तीसगढ़, एंड बिफोर गोइंग टू तेलंगाना इज द स्टेट ऑफ राजस्थान. Mr. Tandon, Rajasthan is now in news largely for two large reasons. For the again two-party voting pattern here, or the governments here. So for Congress, if it is that the list has not come for the candidates because of a kind of a tussle between the Chief Minister Mr. Gehlot and the former Deputy Chief Minister Mr. Sachin Pilot, and for BJP its most prominent leader Vasundhara Raje, and the tickets being denied to some of her supporters, or probably how much will she be into the campaign and the kind of rallying behind of the entire cadre. What is the scenario that you see from here picking up till the state goes to polls?
See, like Madhya Pradesh, where the margin of poll percentage between Congress and BJP was 0.1%. And similarly, the 2018 election in Rajasthan, Congress had won 99 seats and it was just one short of majority. And they polled 39.8% vote. And they made deal with the Bahujan Samajwadi Party and some independent, and they formed the government. And with 39.3% vote share, the BJP managed to secure just 73 seats. No, despite the loss in the assembly, and which the point I have been presenting earlier also, that BJP got all the 25 seats in the Lok Sabha 2019 election. Now, was it just due to the popularity of Prime Minister Modi? But the fact is that BJP could win only 73 seats. That was a big setback for the BJP, and that's why Ashok Gehlot government continued to rule the state for practically the entire term. Although, as you are also mentioning, there was split, there was at least dissension in Rajasthan Congress, and there was speculation that Pilot may switch over to BJP. But the fact remains that the Congress government is intact. But the only thing for the BJP to exploit the anti-incumbency of Ashok Gehlot government is to emphasize on the non-performance of the Ashok Gehlot government. Only then they can at least narrow the gap between the poll percentage. And of course, in Rajasthan also, there is Modi factor.
Correct.
The Modi popularity factor is there. But it is only to some extent, because Modi can get all the 25 seats as far as 2024 election is concerned. But the BJP leadership in Rajasthan, they will have to act together. Right now, the picture which is not very clear about the internal situation in the Rajasthan BJP. So unless they act together, and there they have also put about almost 8 Lok Sabha members.
Right. One question for Rajasthan I will quickly push into before we move to Telangana and Mizoram, Tandon Sahab. was this question about this trend of either party winning the Rajasthan state. So if it is the incumbent government is for Congress, it is the BJP. But given the point that there are so many young voters, given the times that we live in, where social media and kind of other social media platforms influence a lot of voting patterns, would you bet your coin again on this trend that the incumbent government will lose, or probably this is a good amount of fight there for both the parties to fight on the electoral turf?
No, if I quote what Rahul Gandhi said recently about Rajasthan, because he was claiming that the Congress is winning in Chhattisgarh and in Madhya Pradesh and Telangana, etc. But there is a close fight in Rajasthan. So the Congress tallest leader admitting that there is a close fight in Rajasthan, I think I need not emphasize more on that, because there is a lot of factionalism in Congress party. And there is a very strong anti-incumbency wave also in Rajasthan against the Gehlot government. So therefore, I think it's going to be very, very close fight. And BJP will certainly, put all its, high-level guns into the campaign. Prime Minister Amit Shah, and then there are some central ministers from Rajasthan also. But I think the campaigning is yet to pick up because the election is still far away. But I personally feel it's going to be very close fight as far as Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh are concerned. The Chhattisgarh, of course, it appears, and going by what happened in the last election, Congress still has an edge, which the BJP will have to make through very sincere effort, dedicated effort, and of course, banking again on the image and popularity of the Prime Minister.
Right. Moving to the country's youngest state, Telangana, we have the Bharat BRS party there, Bharat Rashtra Samiti. It was earlier known as TRS. The Congress party also exulting and putting all the pedals and all the cylinders on fire in this state. Also the Bharatiya Janata Party is in fray here. Now we have seen kind of daily running commentary between both the BRS and the Congress now, where the Congress has accused that BRS is with BJP and the BRS saying that they are one of the most independent states, very developed, whereas the Congress has said that it is their party who gave them this state, who bifurcated it from Andhra Pradesh. And the BJP in the meantime accusing the K. Chandrasekhar Rao's government of probably not doing as much as it should have done for a newly developed, newly created state like Telangana. How do you see the dynamics panning out here, and how much is at stake for Mr. Chandrasekhar Rao here, Mr. Tandon?
See, Chief Minister KCR is a very clever person. See, last time what he did was the assembly elections of Telangana were to be held simultaneously with the Lok Sabha election in 2019. But, realizing that the Modi wave may not dent into Telangana, he dissolved his assembly ahead of the poll and conducted state assembly elections at least a year ahead. And that is why the Telangana elections are now being held along with Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. So that actually moved. In fact, KCR was a very successful move, a very intelligent move, because he, in a way, de-linked the Lok Sabha election from the assembly election and won handsomely the Telangana poll. Now, the question right now is that he is facing opposition both from the BJP as well as Congress. But the good point for him is that Asauddin Owaisi's party, AIMIM, is a close partner of the Telangana regional, now it's national party, the KCR's party. So that advantage he has got because of Hyderabad. And they last time also, if you remember, his party won 88 seats out of 119. And a very dominant share of vote, 47.4% vote he got. And Congress came at a very distant second with just 19 seats and its share was 28.7%. The BJP had won just one seat, nearly 7% vote. But in the last 5 years, BJP has come a long way in performing the role of the main opposition rather than the Congress, which continues to remain a very divided house. But lately, Congress has now started, emphasizing on Telangana, and they are actually trying to prove, at least if not the ruling party, but the second largest party, the main opposition. So the tussle between the BJP and Congress right now is that who emerges as the second party. So therefore, it appears it's very difficult for Congress to give a challenge to KCR's party, and therefore he seems to have an edge even in this election. So it's a huge challenge for the Congress party to put its act together, and if not ruling, at least try to emerge as the next opposition party, which the BJP is going them a very tough fight.
Right.
So I personally feel the anti-incumbency of Chandrasekhar Rao is, in a way, is not being neutralized by either BJP or the Congress party.
Right. Moving
So
towards...
it will be very difficult, and there is no India alliance visible even in Telangana, because there is no other party, and Congress is in a way alone as far as fighting KCR is. KCR
Only
is not part
lone
of
ranger
India
there.
alliance.
Yes, correct.
He has refused to be part of India alliance.
Right. Moving towards Mizoram, we have the 40 seats assembly there. As we speak, the Bharatiya Janata Party has just announced the list of its star campaigners there. It shows the kind of seriousness that all the parties are giving to this state also. How do you see the dynamics here panning out, Mr. Tandon? Is this anti-incumbency here also, and what are the kind of issues that the political parties are raising in the state of Mizoram?
See, Mizoram Assembly has 40 seats, and the state has literally a two-party politics, which is dominated by the ruling Mizo National Front, MNF, and the Congress. They have been the main contenders so far. But MNF is now aligned with the BJP, particularly BJP's Northeast Democratic Alliance. That is the formidable alliance which won the 2018 elections, bagging 27 seats out of 40, and where the Congress was able to win only 5. And the BJP, although bagged only 1 seat, and the Trinamool Congress also 1 seat, but the other parties, independent and all other, they could win only 6 seats. But the fact remains that the Mizo National Front alliance with BJP, they form the government. And right now, again, situation seems to be more or less the same. And the MNF, which is headed by the Chief Minister, Congress veteran people, they lost some time in the last election also. So the fight will continue to be between the alliance of Mizo National Front and BJP and Congress-led front, which may have a couple of small regional parties.
Right.
But since it's a very small assembly, 40 seats,
yeah,
and what is the practice in most of the northeastern states is that they tend to go with the party which is ruling at the center. So the most regional parties in northeastern states, they try to align with the party which is ruling at the center because they have so many benefits.
Right.
If
Mr. Tandon, I would like to chip in.
Returns to power,
yeah,
they will have benefit of getting support from the central government.
Right. I will chip in with one last question before we run out of time. Is this, you were also mentioning about the kind of experiment this time being done about some MPs, sitting MPs being given the seats for assembly polls in various states by different parties. How do you see this experiment, and why do you think this was necessitated?
BJP was first to announce this experiment when they announced 3-4 stalwarts in the Madhya Pradesh, like Narendra Singh Tomar, Prahlad Patel, Kulaste, and Kailash Varghese. In a way, if you look at it, all of them are chief ministerial candidates in their own way. And that is how the regions which they represent, even the people have started looking at them as the potential chief minister. So therefore, it's a strategy because these 4 leaders, they come from 4 different regions. And Prahlad Patel, he is basically very strong in the areas which are neighboring Bundelkhand.
Right. And
Kailash Varghese, Malwa, Indore region. And in the central region, which is called the Gwalior region, it's Narendra Singh Tomar. And Shivraj Chauhan, of course, has his own areas of influence. So I think the strategy is to, get influence in all the regions so that people will start thinking, no, the leader from our region is going to become the chief minister. And in fact, the impression going around in Madhya Pradesh is that all of them are chief ministerial candidates. But ultimately, only one will become chief minister. But through this strategy, BJP plans to win in all the regions of Madhya Pradesh.
So finally, we have an analysis of the 5 states that are going to polls, all the states of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Telangana and Mizoram. And let us see from here what happens, because the poll campaign is now picking up. And thank you for all our guests for sharing their points here.
You were listening to a discussion on the political scenario, issues and agenda in 5 poll-bound states. The participants were Ashok Tandon, political analyst, Sanjeev Sharma, Akashvani correspondent. The moderator was Nilab Srivastav, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 9289094044.
Akashvani, the news read by Valsa Williams.